So these are the face capture rigs. The head there and the mic is, set up, so it's right here. A game script can be like a map of London in 3D. It can be hundreds of thousands of lines of dialogue. Hi Simon, nice to meet you.
So Mark Esdale is the founder of OMUK, and you deal in video game sound.
Yes, exactly. Well, dialogue production.
Video game dialogue.
Yeah.
So do you mind just showing us quickly around your studio and telling us a little bit about what you do?
Oh, well, you're up here and this is kind of the green room, but a few of the games we've worked on over there, and a few props, as you can see, the armoury and the submachine guns and other such stuff.
Yeah.
The one thing we specialise in is the whole idea of actors being completely immersed in the game, hence the props. So what I'll do is take you down to the studio and show what we've been doing.
Cool.
Come on down.
See, Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yep.
That's an awesome game. How was that to work?
Oh, they're brilliant. The Great Gorilla are a great team. They're, that was a few years' work on that, and we've been doing. And there's some more of the games we're working on here.
Ah, right.
What we do, I'll show you the way we used to work. So we started attaching the mic.
Yeah.
So if you pop that on, so the headphone's there, so the mic will be in front of the actor like that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And it works perfectly well until you start to get physical.
Right, and it's
so it's be getting a bit of movement from it, and that picks stuff up. So when I talked to Sam at DPA about it, and he introduced me to your stickies. Okay. And these have been a real life changer, because the whole thing about just sticking the mic straight to the forehead,
that's what you need.
is perfect.
How do you get going on a project like a new project?
So we work in a slightly different way from normal, in the sense of game scripts are massive. So they're if you imagine a play or a film is a piece of string beginning to end. There's a few thousand lines of dialogue. Yeah. A game script can be like a map of London in 3D. It's just massive and complex. It could be hundreds of thousands of lines of dialogue. Yeah. So first off, you're not getting actors to learn the lines. They don't know their role. Because you're jumping all over the place as well.
Yeah.
You've got choice and consequence. That's what a game is. And we have tech that drives the game engine within the studio and brings the script to them.
Okay.
And so they're completely in the moment, so they can hear the performances of the other actors, they can see what's happening, they can see the scene, they can see any videos, any sound effects or music. We need to, that the director can just bring in any element that brings the actor into the moment they are in the story.
So you can put in music from that scene.
Music, sound effect, anything that exists. Yeah. And sometimes, we will use, library music just to give the right mood. We'll talk to the composer. And they'll say, because they may not have written the music by the time when we're recording, but they'll point us into, music that have the emotional bed that they want from the mood. Yeah.
Do you also capture their facial movements as well?
We do have face capture. We do have rigs in all the studios. But then we just use the DPAs, and they're attached to the rig. So we don't actually stick it to the head, because the rig's right round the head. Oh, okay. So the mic is on the rig.
Yeah, sure. And when they're watching, do they see do they hear the other cast members talking? Like, if that's pre-recorded, I suppose, is that played in so they can interact?
Yeah, there's a way of recording, so we're actually following what we call the reactive flow of a script. Okay. Simply because, generally in a game, you're playing a character who's probably the one who's inquiring of the world. So we generally record the principal character first, lay out the world with that character, and then record the other characters against them. And we're reviewing the original performance as we're recording the other roles. And then they come back later in. So we don't finish everything, one actor all the way through, wrap. We'll do a majority of it, then pick up bits and pieces. Right. So the production we're working on now, we've actually got the actors coming in for 2 hours here, 2 hours there, 2 hours here, 2 hours there. And so we can review what they've done in comparison to the performances. And if we want to go into a different nuance, we've got the opportunity to do that. So we're crafting it right at the point of creation in the context of the game. So it's never broken. So when it goes into sort of post and stuff, we don't get, we avoid pickups, you know, simply for the fact we don't want, you know, they just get in the way of the next production. Right. We're really busy. So, you know, I think we've got something like 30 productions live right now. So that
30?
is 30.
Blimey.
Yeah. But they're all in different stages of production. I think this week we're working on 5 different games in just these 2 studios.
This is obviously an incredible area which is obviously still really growing as well. Can you give any advice to people watching this who might want to get into video game sound? Well, what would you say to them if they were sort of leaving uni, maybe they've done a music degree, maybe they've done sound technology? Is there any advice you might give to someone starting out and wanting to do this kind of work?
Well, I specialise in voice work, but the game audio community is really big and close. So there are really good online forums, you know, within LinkedIn. There's a thing called the VGM, which is the Video Games Musicians List. I think that's generally for practitioners within the industry, but I don't know if there's students on that. I don't know, you know. But we all talk to each other within the audio world. You know, I think audio people are really nice, and you know, we problem solve together. You know, we're not, you know, we may be working for competing companies. You know, somebody might be in Sony or Microsoft or whatever. But we all help each other. You know, we're solving very, very complex problems all the time, because you know, that whole idea of sound being generated in real time, depending on the perspective of the player, is super complex. And you have really fabulous middleware and all that kind of stuff. So it'd be, you know, I would advise, you know, anybody wanting to get into it is understand the game engines, understand the middleware, the things like Fmod and Wise, which game devs use to actually do all the sort of real-time DSP processing and, you know, implementation of the sound in the game. So, but on the dialogue front, there are very many different ways people are working, and I think we're at the forefront of what's happening with this way of working. So the team here are an amazing bunch of engineers who just, you know, we all love what we're doing. You know, we wouldn't be doing it otherwise. You know, it's in your blood. You know, as well as the actors, and and it's a very collaborative way of working. You know, so we work in the studio here. It's completely open mic to the booth. The actor's part of any conversations. You know, we'll have the writers in the studio. Today they've gone home, so they'll be coming on Zoom, unfortunately. But all last week we're all in the studio together, and we're all chatting all the time, and well as going into the into a scene. And it just takes on a life of its own. And that's what I wanted. That reality is what I want in the studio. So that is what I'm aiming at.
So we wanted to show you the head strap, because this has been used for motion capture shoots in the past. So the idea is it kind of sits kind of low on the forehead. And then it goes around like this. And it velcros to itself on either side. And now that's kind of solid. And hopefully... Well, that doesn't pull, so that could then be maybe rigged into the headphones or so, and then the cable would run down the back.
Yep. This is perfect, and I think it makes sense, you know, because it's easy to put on, and again, it's just another piece of kit. But I love, you know, just these well thought out solutions to problems. So I'd be very happy to try this.
Well,
and probably.
I thought we'd throw that in there and see if it could be helpful, because it's useful for us, because obviously our experiences are it's new for us to get to know how things work with video game sound, and it's all really exciting to see. Thank you very much, and we'll be back shortly, I presume.
Cheers.
All right.
Sticky.